Copying data repeatedly creates hidden costs in storage, compute, engineering effort, and delayed insights. Zero-copy approaches eliminate much of that overhead while improving data freshness and governance. And that is exactly what we will be exploring today. Welcome everyone to today's live experts session. We are thrilled to have you join us. I have the big pleasure of having Santran, Product Manager for SAP BDC at SAP, joining me. San brings over 20 years of experience in the analytics space. He has contributed to various product lines, including SAP Business Warehouse, SAP HANA, SAP DataSphere, SAP Analytics Cloud, and the Business Technology Platform. Most recently, his focus has been on integrating AI capabilities into the Business Data Cloud. Also, we have the pleasure of having again my colleague Malin Hall supporting us in the chat. And now, without further ado, over to you, San.
Yeah, thank you very much. Then let me share the screen so we can then start. So, hope that it is viewable. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for the nice introduction. My name is Santran. I'm from the product management at BDC, and today I would like to introduce to you to Business Data Cloud, the open data ecosystem, including BDC Connect and the connection to our partner systems like Databricks and Snowflake. So before we start with the session, let me still give you a quick overview where SAP strategy is heading into. You might have seen this slide in one or the other format where we have these 3 layers of AI, data, and application. And you see this flywheel which shall represent that we in SAP, no matter if we provide data technology or AI technology, that all of the insights that we are gaining out of these technologies, the ultimate goal is to feed it back into the business applications so that you as a business user can make better business decisions. And that, I think, is the core theme of this, will frame the entire presentation, I would rather say. And I will then tell you how we want to achieve that from Business Data Cloud perspective. If you zoom into the 3 layers, maybe just to give a quick overview over the North Star architecture and vision where we are heading into from SAP perspective. I will not get into all of the boxes in this picture, but you see that the architecture is currently transforming, especially with the AI technologies that are coming into the game. And Business Data Cloud as a data layer will play a massive role in this game. And I will show you and explain to you how we from Business Data Cloud will impact into that. Of course, we will have also corresponding tooling to develop those layers and those different technologies. And we will also partner in parallel with third parties, because especially in the cloud, we know as SAP that our customers are working in a heterogeneous system landscape. And here they are asking us for interoperability and basically to integrate their investment and secure their investment, no matter which tool, in the AI tooling or in data tooling. But today we will focus rather on the data tooling side, specifically on Snowflake and Databricks. So let's get then one level deeper into the Business Data Cloud, so-called Business Data Fabric. Meanwhile, we have quite a lot of boxes in this Business Data Fabric. It consists of Analytics Cloud, of BW modernization, of DataSphere, We will look today more specifically into Databricks and Snowflake, the AI foundation, the SAP house, AI technology, and recently also introduced the HANA Cloud, which will be more presentation in the future in the near time. I would like to mention that because the HANA Cloud, without going into deep here, is going to be the door opener from my perspective to build the pro-code intelligent applications. Basically, you can use business technology platform, build code, and then create CAP applications on top of the HANA Cloud, which will then allow you to access the so-called data products in Business Data Cloud. The data product is really one key element of the data layer strategy, as you have seen before in this flywheel strategy picture, because the data product is building the data, what we call data product economy, where we as SAP offer to you customer SAP managed, curated, standardized data, your LOB data from SuccessFactors, from S/4HANA, from Ariba, and so on. And we will manage them for you so that when you have one of the LOB applications and then you acquire additional Business Data Cloud, so that you have direct access to your corresponding data products of your solution choice. And that is a very important strategy, because the curated data products unify and standardize, as I said, a way how we provide and offer and manage data so that it enables you to create the next-gen application. And with next-gen application, I mean, of course, today we are still having we are still distinguishing much the analytical application, which is DataSphere and Analytics Cloud with the reporting and analytical applications. Then we have also AI-driven applications, AI agents, and knowledge graphs, and all the agentic applications. And we have also the classic transactional applications, you can say pro-code applications. And the data product economy basically serves as the source of your data, source of your application, and provides and curate those data, orchestrate them. They can be distributed around the globe in different data centers, different types of data, and that will be managed by SAP. That is one point of the story, of course, and the other side is that we will invite as well partners and you as a customer as well to provide your custom data products and create your data products to enrich the economy and build the holistic application, holistic business application on top of those data products. Yeah. And that's why it's so important that we from SAP and from BDC and this data layer strategy are opening up to collaborate with partners like Snowflake and Databricks, which will explain in a few moments more in detail. Because often customers have also non-SAP data, like maybe some kind of sentiments data, maybe some sensor data from machines, non-SAP data, really technical data, or acquired data from partners from Dun & Bradstreet. And those data customer want to enrich together with SAP data and build on top the new applications. I will dive into deep more in the following slides as well. But I think that is a core strategy that we need to understand upfront why we are opening our ecosystem for that. And important is also because in the past, when we are integrating systems and bring data from different locations and distribute it across the globe, the typical way how you bring data together, you need to do extraction, you have to do transformation, the so-called ETL exercises, and that has a lot of TCO issues because it's not only the machines that you have to bring in, you have to bring the knowledge, you have to maintain the complexity. And when you want to change something, then you have to modify and go through the entire workflow. And that was a pain for many customers in the past. And that's why in BDC, we have from the beginning decided for the so-called zero copy data sharing. It's nothing that SAP necessarily has invented. It is meanwhile a protocol, the Delta Share protocol, originated from Databricks, meanwhile an open source protocol which basically standardized the way how data can be shared without doing all this replication and ETL. It allows sharing of data across platforms, interoperable. It supports Spark, Pandas, Power BI, basically data formats that are nowadays, especially in the AI age, highly requested. Yeah? So not only relational database, but also those unstructured data types are all supported with this data sharing protocol. And we avoid with this data sharing, with this federation and remote access, you can say as well, the replication exercise, the ETL, data transformation, and all of these hassle that you had in the past. And this live data sharing allow you instantly access to your business data, and you can work with that. And that was the core idea that we have adopted in BDC. And I will show you also later on a quick demo how it feels like. It is cross-platform compatible because a lot of customers are sitting on different infrastructure, no matter if it is AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. We are supporting all of the big platform providers. Of course, the protocol provides security and additional governance standards that we basically inherit from this technology, and basically this is already a best practice protocol that is not only used by SAP but many other vendors and partners who join this data share protocol. Yeah. So let me then go into it. What is the benefit then from SAP if we say we want to open this data ecosystem? Yeah, we provide a so-called module, a application similar to SAC and similar to DataSphere, which you need to deploy into the SAP for me customer landscape, and you have to basically put into the formation, and then you do the same what you do normally also with SAC, with DataSphere, and assign this to your formation and via some capacity units. The advantage what we gain, as I said, first of all, we are opening up with BDC Connect so that other platforms who are supporting the data share like Databricks and Snowflake, that they can have access to our data products. And we want to also make sure that it is a bi-directional sharing. So you basically share the data outside in Databricks, enrich it with machine learning, let's say, and gain additional insights and share it back into Business Data Cloud to feed into your business applications, and utilize the gained insights for your business decision. Yeah. And basically, as I said, you can use this to enrich data with AI insights, or also combine with non-SAP data that is, as I said before, like machine sensor data or other non-SAP data sets that you want to join together with SAP data to get more accuracy into your machine learning, typically. We support, since last year, when GA started the partnership with Databricks on all data platforms. I have to close that here. Sorry for that. On all data platforms like AWS, GCP, and Azure. And with Snowflake, we will go live in end of April, if I'm not wrong, in next month, basically. And with Google BigQuery, it will be rather end of Q2, while with Microsoft Fabric, we will start by Q3 in 2026. So then we will cover the most popular data platforms that are available today in the market, and which our customers have asking for us to integrate with. Then we have basically the most biggest partners here connected. So let's start with SAP Databricks. Why Databricks? What capabilities do we get with SAP Databricks? Because there are differences. So we have basically, as you said, as you have seen maybe in the initial picture diagram of the data fabric, that we have SAP Databricks as an OEM software inside the BDC, which you can spend capacity units to it, and then you can consume this platform to your need. Yeah, so it's really an integral part of Business Data Cloud. And maybe to make it also very clear, because this SAP Databricks is a specific version of Databricks. It's not the entire set of the Databricks offering, but only the so-called serverless compute offering. So we have all the features that are in the variant of the serverless compute. That comprise of the zero copy delta sharing capabilities, of course, using the Unity catalog. It's a management system of Databricks, which allows you to orchestrate and manage your data sets, and also apply security and authorization on top. It has SQL analytics capabilities. You can run via Python and SQL, then queries against your data, and then do analysis. But specifically more, I think, where Databricks is famous for is the Pro-code environment, that you can have notebooks, Python notebooks, and train machine learning with additional supported tools like MLflow to monitor, track, and log your machine learning in an enterprise-grade manner, so that you can get the best optimized AI model for your business. And then they are supporting additional tooling, as I said, Mosaic AI, which you can also utilize in this enterprise platform. I mean, I will not go into depth into all of the feature sets of the different partners, because this session today is rather on this open ecosystem. How is the interaction between Business Data Cloud and those partner systems? And here I want to illustrate, and then we will have a quick video recording, which I will go through with you. How is this data sharing happening? So we are starting in this recording. You will see a so-called cash flow forecast. So we have a cash flow data product, a data sets resides on BDC, and that is then visible as a data product in the business data catalog of BDC. This data product you can then in the catalog share towards the Databricks catalog in the same formation, of course, of BDC, and you share virtually, right? Not copying, no ETL, zero copy, and make it basically available in the Unity catalog virtually. Those data products you can then apply then your machine learning. In our scenario, you will see that we will do a so-called forecast. We do a 6-month forecast and try to predict basically the cash flow over the next 6 months using a simple machine learning algorithm. And the result set will be then persisted in Databricks. So in the system of Databricks, in our case, it's AWS, so it's in storage AWS, and this result set is shared back into Business Data Cloud cockpit. So again, we have here persistency in Databricks, we have persistency in so-called foundation service layer in BDC, but in the catalog, the customer do not care where the data can come from. I mean, it can potentially also come from BW, yet another system. It can come from a external system where you connect to, like Snowflake, and then you share it back here. From the consumer perspective, they are all data products in a uniformed format, and you can then, as long as they support the SAP format of data products, because there are, of course, metadata that you need to enrich with, and our partners are supporting this, of course. There are so-called ORD files and CSN files, which describe the tables and the data products insights. And those metadata needs to be there so that it is recognized as a data product. So this data product then can be, in our analytical case, installed into DataSphere. So typically we are creating here then HANA tables, views, analytical models, and you will be able to share this or not share, consume that in Analytics Cloud and create your visualization and story. Let's have a look into the recording. Let me see. Try to mute it. So we are in the catalog. You see we are opening the cash flow. You can see the cash flow data product here, which you can then share. And then you see here the target system, which is Databricks. You have to select a so-called workspace, a specific space in Databricks system. And here I'm sharing towards 3 workspaces in Databricks. And we are switching now to Databricks. And in Databricks, the Unity catalog, you see right away the BDC cash flow or the cash flow data product that we have just shared. And you can already access this data product and preview your data. Yeah, it is really remarkable, especially if you, I'll stop here a bit the recording and tell a bit, because if you're coming from the old school world like me, typically you have to do ETL, extraction, replication, trigger some scheduling jobs and recopy the data, and then you have to wait until the data arrived. And here, via two clicks, as you have seen, you have shared it and saying which space it has to be shared with, and then you can access it right away for machine learning. Yeah, and here we're creating a training notebook. I'm taking some algorithm here, time series forecast, and setting a so-called ML flow experiment, setting some additional machine learning parameters to optimize the prediction. I will not go into depth into this Python because there is a dedicated session of mine typically where we can talk more in depth, because today I would really like to show you rather the interplay between BDC and Databricks. So once the prediction have been applied, you can save those forecasting data into local persistency of the SAP Databricks, and then share it back as a data product into the catalog of Business Data Cloud. Before you can share, I told you already, you need to still run some scripts to generate the metadata, as I mentioned before, OID file and season file. But then you are using the standard vanilla features from Databricks, where you have to delta share, give the name of your sharing, and then select which artifacts you want to share. In our case is the prediction tables, the cash flow prediction table, and I send that to our recipient, which is the local or the connected BDC, SAP Business Data Cloud, and then I'm sharing to the system. As I said, you have to run a few more scripts. I will not go into deep here to generate those metadata files, and then you can publish it eventually to Business Data Cloud. Now let's switch back to the catalog of Business Data Cloud. And here we are in DataSphere, opening the catalog. You can search for the shared data product from Databricks, and here we find the prediction, the cash flow prediction table, and then you can install this shared table into DataSphere. So here it's a bit fast, but because this question always come up, I want to stop here a bit. The data access here is by default remote. Again, virtual access. So basically you can access virtually from DataSphere to your prediction tables in Databricks, but you have here in the drop-down box also the choice to replicate it, because typically in analytical applications you are looking for performance, and then you need typically if you want really for looking for performance, rather replicate, and then it's just a matter of switching this box, and then you will run it and it will then help you to replicate. Yeah, and once you start this import, it will do the entire job for you. I will not show beyond that anymore, because then you're running into this DataSphere world and SAC modeling. I think there is a dedicated session for that. I will just show you how the interplay was between Databricks and Business Data Cloud. Yeah. So let's move on with the slide deck. Nonetheless, customers have, of course, also the choice, or many customers have already their own SAP Databricks. I have to move the camera somehow away so that I can see it. So you can have your SAP Databricks in BDC. This is using the same data sharing protocol, and you share it basically as we have seen in the recording. Or if customer have already enterprise Databricks in their system landscape, what they need to do then is basically using the so-called BDC Connect module or application, and then they can connect that seamlessly with your enterprise Databricks. The sharing is almost the same as we have seen in the recording. There is almost no difference, except for that you have an external Databricks system with, of course, in this case, the full capabilities and the full features, because it is the enterprise Databricks version. And with that, you basically can enrich your data, apply machine learning, and reshare the artifacts that you're creating here back to the Business Data Cloud and join the data product economy, as I have mentioned before. How is this BDC Connect to be set up? It's also a very simple 3 steps approach, where you provision the BDC Connect as a application like SAC and DataSphere. Then you have to add that into your enterprise Databricks as a source, and then you have to go back to SAP for me and add your configured connection and trust that you have set up between BDC and the enterprise Databricks. You have to add that specifically into your formation, and then we are good to go and run seamlessly the connection with Databricks. So you can have a quick recording as well on that. I think this is a shorter one. Let me quickly see. Yeah.
In the following, I would like to demonstrate.
Let us go through it in a 3-steps approach. So let me skip that here because it's the same. So we are now in Databricks. Then the first thing that you need, basically, you go to your enterprise Databricks and you grab in the Business Data Cloud source a so-called connection identifier, a URL, basically, so that you can now in SAP for me, where your BDC is deployed, and we have here a Business Data Cloud already deployed, you can then search for applications. And here you see that you can deploy Analytics Cloud, Datasphere, Databricks, but you can also install or deploy BDC Connect. And here you give the BDC Connect some reasonable name. But more important is that you then use you select a path to that, first of all, the resource group to which you want to assign it into. And then most important is then to paste here the URL, the connection path to that. And then you set your region where you are connecting into, and you are good to go and finish the first step of your setup. Yeah. So then what happens is that this BDC Connect is installed or into your BDC landscape and provide you yet another URL, yet another identifier, which you need to declare in the Databricks side on the other side. Basically, what happens is you are doing kind of a bidirectional handshake and saying, I know you, you know me, and you basically setting up a trust between both systems. And once this trust is there, then you can communicate securely between both systems and share the data. That's the entire idea of this URL copy and paste exercise. Yeah. So what you can see, then you can when you finish this trust setup, you will find basically BDC on the Databricks side. And the third step, what you need to do once this trust setup has been accomplished, you need to go back to the SAP for me to add the BDC Connect that you have configured securely into your customer landscape, into your formation. Here we had already a demo or standard demo landscape formation. You see a lot of formations here in our internal system, and you want to add now into this demo landscape formation the created BDC Connect. And with that, you have basically set it up and you are ready to go to share your data to enterprise Databricks of your that you have brought along with you. So the exercise that I'm showing here is same applicable for Snowflake. So I will not show the same for all of the other systems and in the future systems, but rather refer it to this recording, because the setup of BDC Connect is almost always the same. Yeah. So that's why I will have showed it once, and hopefully it's understood that the setup of BDC Connect is pretty straightforward. So another question which always comes when you're sharing is, how is it with the support of the different hyperscalers? So it was a very big topic last year. Meanwhile, we are supporting all three big platform provider, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud platforms. Of course, not in all regions, and that's why I have here also referring you to the Roadmap Explorer, which I took screenshots just this morning to show you the roadmap for 2026. And so you have an idea in which region BDC will be deployed into. And with that, you can then know where is BDC available and then connect to your Databricks of your choice. Important also, or many questions that came up last year, specifically when we launched BDC Connect, was also how about the cross hyperscaler support? Do you support also, because you have to know BDC is by default deployed into AWS. This is our default setup, but customer often using Databricks, let's say with Azure. And the question was, is it also cross-platform available? And the answer is yes. With Q4 2025, we are now supporting cross-platform. Of course, again, as I said, you have to refer to the roadmap, which regions are already available. But in general, we are cross-platform enabled. That is also highly requested or highly frequently asked question, which I want to clarify here. So let's go to SAP Snowflake. SAP Snowflake, yet another vendor. And again, I will not now make a comparison between Snowflake or Databricks, because I think it's a rather customer choice, customer decision, a strategic investment decision that customer made normally typically long back before we come into the game, let's say. And it is a conscious decision by customers. And what the customers are asking us is rather, how do you integrate my investment and how can I secure my investment? And that's why we are saying from SAP, no matter what you are choosing, Snowflake, Databricks, by end of H1, Google BigQuery or Fabric from Microsoft, we are open here to support you to join our BDC ecosystem of the data product ecosystem. And that's actually our goal. And we are happy here, no matter which platform you're choosing, we are happy to support you in the same manner. So that's why here we don't differentiate much, at least from our perspective, it's rather a customer choice. However, and that I think is important to know, the SAP Snowflake, the internal Snowflake within the data fabric, is a bit differently carved out than the SAP Snowflake. I said SAP Databricks. SAP Databricks, as I said before, was rather an OEM. You can use capacity units of BDC. It's an integral part of BDC solution, you can say. The SAP Snowflake is sold rather as a so-called SAP solution extension, which is a separate SKU. You cannot spend capacity units of BDC to acquire SAP Snowflake. Yeah, so that's the point. You have to do it. It's really an SAP indirect price list, and you have to acquire it from that side. But important is to know that you cannot acquire SAP Snowflake as a standalone box, but you need always, or prerequisites always, that you have already BDC in place, because it is a solution extension and not a standalone solution. Yeah, I think that is important. Another differentiation in comparison to Databricks is that with Snowflake, no matter if you go for SAP Snowflake or the enterprise Snowflake, an external Snowflake, let's say, that you have already in place, the feature sets here is exactly the same. So it doesn't, if you have not acquired any Snowflake yet, you can go rather with Snowflake standalone, or you can come with SAP Snowflake. You will get exactly the same features. You have only different I would say paying conditions, I would rather say, because with SAP Snowflake, you get basically everything one bill in SAP manner, basically. Yeah. And I mean, one advantage, there are a lot of side notes, I know, but I want to mention that at least with SAP Snowflake, you have also the advantage in comparison, maybe if you do it with the external Snowflake, that you don't have to pay for the infrastructure fees. Yeah. So, but let's move on. I mean, with SAP Snowflake, historically grown rather from a warehouse solution perspective, but meanwhile extended into AI territories, very similar to Databricks, where you have also all these Python notebooks, but on top also analytical applications and agentic applications. Yeah. I will not go into all of the feature sets of Snowflake. It will be far beyond my exercise here, but maybe as a very last exercise, I want to go into the system, a live demo, to show you in Snowflake how you can utilize the data products. I mean, I am not showing now the sharing part. As I said, the sharing part is rather the same, no matter which data. Basically, you're going into the catalog and share the data product, which I have done already. Then I'm landing now in the Snowflake, in the so-called Horizon catalog, very similar to the Unity catalog. Some different twists from governance and management perspective, and you have also to mount the data products differently manually than with Databricks, because they are using also different table types like icebergs and FDNs. I will not go into detail here, again, a separate session rather, but what I want to show to you is here a shared supplier invoice that I have already prepared before. And let me quickly show to you the tables inside. And I would like rather to showcase in comparison to the previous Databricks system, which we have run Pro code, Python code. I would like to go through a agentic application. Yeah. So we see here the supply invoices. You can preview that. Very, very similar to Databricks. I'm saying it is everything in Databricks is red, and here it's more blue. But other from the handling perspective is really, really similar. So I'm going now into the Cortex AI from Snowflake, which is a studio containing all of the agentic feature sets here. And I have prepared a few things already to admit. I have created a so-called analyst in advance already. An analyst is basically comprised of a semantic view. Maybe we can have a look into that. I hope that we have a bit time. Basically, an analyst, a semantic model. Basically, here I have joined or predefined as a so-called semantic layer, semantic view of the two tables of my invoice data product, supplier invoice, supplier invoice item, and you can define a relationship. I joined the invoice header with the items here via a foreign key relationship. And basically this here is, you can say, is also kind of like a SQL view, but you have more semantic to it. You can define facts, time dimension. So it is a bit more richer than a typical SQL view, and it allows a AI agents specifically to understand and query against. And that's what is so strong about this semantic view, or an analyst, how they call it. And let me create a new agent from scratch. I have created here a schema. Let me call it emo agent. And let's create a new one. And then I go to my tools. I go to my analysts, where I have already the semantic view that I have created, which we have seen together, the invoice view. Oops. I hope that, oh, Does it create a new one for me? Let me add one more. So, here. So this is the SMV supply invoice view, which we just went together. Let's give this agent a nice name, invoice agents, let's call him. And I can generate also more context. This is really important always for agents. If you are in this AI world, you will know that, because the more semantics, the more knowledge and more accurate you can query against the data sets underneath. And what the generation here is doing, when going through the entire semantic view and try to enrich and describe more human readable text around those columns and measures that we have created before, and then enrich it with the human readable text. And once you do that, I can save the agents, and your agents is basically ready to go. And I hope that I have not stopped him too early. Okay. And then you can basically, using AI agent, to query against it. Let's say, show me the invoice of per year over last 5 years, let's say. Hopefully my English is good enough. So he knows already how to filter. He will find the right columns to filter on. And it generates, at the end of the day, a SQL view, of course, on top of that. And it tells you which column he has selected on. He created here calculate measure total invoice amount, some summation of the invoice amount column, and then it shows me basically here the last 5 years amount, and you see then a nice charting on top to show the trend of my invoices per year. Yeah. And with this agent, you can ask any kind of questions, because it has already the semantics on top of my data product, and then you can now query against it. I just wanted to show another use case here. Again, I will not go into depth all of the feature sets, because they are so rich, and you can spend here an own session on top. But the idea here is really to give you an idea how quick it is by sharing data from SAP to your platform of choice, in this case Snowflake, and then you can operate right away with it without now going through the pain of ETL, data replication, and so on and so forth. And that's the idea of today's session. Yeah. So let me go back to here in the last slide before we end. Before we open up for Q&A, I would rather say, again, coming back to our very first slide or last slide, the flywheel idea is, again, we are using technology, AI and data technology, not because only we want to play and create nice charts with it, but we want to improve business decisions, because we want to make better business decisions. And those insights that we are gaining with our data and with our AI technology will fly back into the ecosystem of SAP, into the business application, and help you to make then better business decisions. And if you have another platform or tool of your choice that you want to integrate with BDC, with SAP in general, I would rather say, but with BDC specifically, we have the BDC Connect tool for you, so that you can then use so-called Delta share, zero copy sharing, and exchange data with your platform of choice. We are integrating them for you in this 3 steps approach that I've shown to you, and you can enrich it with machine learning. You can enrich it with non-SAP data sets, and then you wrap that up again and share it in as a data product into the ecosystem of SAP, in this data product ecosystem, and then you can build on top your business applications. And with that, I think we are on the spot, on time, and can open up for questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sun, for your really excellent presentation. We do have quite a few questions. I would like to say, since we only have 10 minutes left, we might not be able, or you might not be able to answer all of them. Therefore, we will provide answers to all of your questions and post them in the comments area underneath this video. So don't worry, in case we don't manage to answer your question today, you will find the answer in the comments area in the next few days. Okay, so let us start with the first question. And that is, so data sharing is typically enabled through the Unity catalog in Databricks. How does this work in the context of BDC Connect and Azure Fabric, for example?
So Azure Fabric is not yet out, so I'm also not so familiar with that. But I can tell you, at least for Snowflake, because I think it is a similar. I think the question is targeting the similar problematic, that those specific vendors are having also in-house vendor-specific tables format, let's say, like Snowflake icebergs and Snowflake FDN tables. And with our partners, at least with Snowflake, I know this is the case, and that's why we will release by next month the bidirectional sharing. That the partners in that case will implement specifically for us, or I'm not sure whether I am allowed to tell that, but they will have a version of their internal iceberg tables releasing soon, which will support delta sharing. So our partners have really made the effort to enable this bidirectional sharing and make them compatible to the Delta Share protocol. And I assume that the very same thing will very likely happen with GCP tables and with with the Microsoft Fabric tables. I mean, again, keep the finger crossed, because we have not yet released those partner systems yet, but with Snowflake, that is definitely the case.
Thank you. Perhaps you want to unshare? Then
yeah, I can.
You are also visible in full screen.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Next question. When we bring in our own customer data products, how well will it work with the standard business semantics that SAP has already defined on SAP data products?
Yes, I mean, at the moment, I mean, the data products that are created with Databricks that we have seen before are very rudimentary, I would rather say, because they are sharing basically raw tables back to SAP Business Data Cloud. And over the time, you will see, I mean, that is maybe from SAP perspective, maybe good enough, because our goal is to get non-SAP data and enrich them together with SAP data, and that, I think, is absolutely valid. Yeah, what we will provide then as SAP tooling inside SAP, of course, over the time with the Data Product Studio and other tooling that are upcoming, that we will get our data product more richer, SAP semantic richer, like authorizations, like knowledge graph, and all of these additional semantics will come over time. And of course, they will differentiate from the custom data product. Yeah, but nonetheless, it does not mean that they're getting incompatible. But as long as you're following the protocols, the data product metadata format, then we can always help you to join them together. But what I'm trying to say is that, of course, the external data products will not arrive the same semantic level as we will have in SAP. And that's naturally, hopefully clear.
Thank you. The next one is, does BDC Connect support role-based access control?
Which access control, sorry?
Role-based access control, RBAC.
I assume that goes into this authorization topic. It is at the moment not the case. I hope that I'm not telling too much, that we are working hard on that for the upcoming Sapphire event, that we will enrich that exactly for Sapphire, that you can have so-called authorization policies, we call it internally, AMS, where LOBs basically have to implement authorization policies, like data product with restricted by cost center, or another data product restricted by a profit center ID, and those policy then will be part of the data product. And no matter if you then build a intelligent app on top or AI agent on top, those policy will be then applied, and basically depending on your role, as you said, role base, then you can see only data that belongs to you or that you are eligible to see. But again, subject to be deployed or developed, and hopefully we will see more of that in the upcoming Sapphire.
Thank you. Next, what are the prerequisites for generating a combination of SAP and non-SAP data products?
If there are prerequisites?
Yeah.
Actually, there's no prerequisites. I mean, we did, I don't have it today here, for example, but a colleague of mine has another nice demo where she, I think it was a spend scenario, intelligent spend package scenario, where she shared outside the spend data product, acquired or enriched with Duns and Bradstreet data, non-SAP data. And you are doing that basically on database level. I mean, there is nothing like now SAP specific. The data product is also not a big magic. At the end of the day, it's just a container of artifacts. Could be tables, could be semantics, could be additional files which enrich the data. But at the end of the day, it's a container, and to enrich or to join it with external data, you just need two table sets in the delta share format, which is typically a delta share table in Parquet files, and then you can use Spark or SQL to join those table sets, and then you package that again as a data product with all of this metadata that I've said before, and then you share it back. So there is no high prerequisites to join SAP data with non-SAP data in that sense. Yeah.
Thank you. The next one is, if we create our own data products, can the receivers via BDC Connect store the results and work with the data in any way they want? The newest BDC supplement is not clear on user data products.
Yeah, I mean, the supplements is one big discussion. So per definition in the supplements, you are not allowed to use Delta Share protocol, basically share it to external platforms and persist it there, or even further sharing it. So that is per supplement not allowed. But there are exceptions cases, which is also defined in the supplements, where, for example, you have performance issues if you share a big table. Then in exceptional cases, if it's reasonable, then it is then allowed, basically. Yeah. So it is a gray zone topic, and it has to be looked case by case. It cannot be generalized, unfortunately, these supplements clauses. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Does SAP Databricks support the integration of other platform data, or is it limited to the SAP and customer managed data products within SAP BDC?
No, as I said, right? So as long as you follow the protocol, I mean the data product format, then you can share, of course, SAP data sets. You can share, as we have seen, Databricks data products. And if we have soon the data product studio, then you can create your own custom data products, and then you can share any data product of your choice. There is no kind of limitations in that sense. It is really the idea of this data sharing is really that it helps you to make those data as fast as possible accessible without the hassle of copying, replication. And the idea is really that you are not copying the data, but you're leaving the data where they are, and we bring the compute serverless. We bring the compute to you, and then it will be executed in the place where they are residing. That's the idea of this entire data sharing, and not putting data forth and back and going into this complexity.
Okay. Sam, thank you so much. We are already on top of the hour. We still have 6 questions open. As mentioned in when we start the Q&A part, we will answer. Well, Sam will hopefully answer them, and we will post the questions in the comments area underneath this video. I would like also to ask or offer it to anyone else also viewing the video afterwards. If you have any questions, just post your questions in the comments area and we will look into it. And with this, once again, a big thanks to you, Sun, for your excellent presentation, for answering all those questions. And a big thanks to all attendees for joining. We hope you had a lot of value. You got a lot of value from this session, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thank you.
And with this, have a great day, have a great evening, depending on where you are. Bye-bye.
Bye.